Are we live? Of course we're live. Same-ish, different day, people. Good afternoon to those of you like myself in the UK. People, Deluded, I'm back again and all of those things. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and of course, good night where you lot are concerned. I hope you're doing well and safe. I appreciate everyone who's been rocking with the content. One love to everyone who was at the live stream earlier today on YouTube. Defo appreciation to everyone who was at the early one on Twitch. On the topic of Twitch, people, again, third and, well, I'm lying to you lot, fourth and final bit of content from me today. It's Lazio versus Marseille. Obviously, live from 5:20. Go and join me on Twitch again. I'm going to be watching that. Why not? Guendouzi and Saliba watch, considering they both just got in the French team of the week. You know, let's see what's going on. And actually, it's a big week for them because they've got Lazio in the Europa League. And then there's PSG at the weekend. I think PSG fans are not allowed in, so it's probably taking the gloss off the game. Obviously, tomorrow, we're previewing Arsenal, Aston Villa. We're going to get into it, but it's watch-along business where that's concerned. Again, check out the pinned message for all that info. If not, simply put, I've dropped the link again. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I've actually forgotten to turn on one of the lights. 1 second, people. I am still here. What the hell? Always something to forget, isn't it, people? There we go. Let's slap that on. There we have it. There we have it. Obviously, what you get me? That's for the galley. I see the galley probably saw my leg day. You get me, man? Don't skip leg day, innit? For the man, them allow me. But yeah, I hope everyone's safe. We'll crack on with Aston Villa in a second. Look at the press conferences from Arteta and probably Dean Smith. Try and assess what's going on from a you know, just put on ourselves in that. See, try and assess what's going on from a tactical point of view or what we could expect from a tactical point of view. And then tomorrow is showtime, innit? Like, you're right, Pete Mav. Another one. Just keep hitting them, man. Appreciate you, MT. Watching Guendouzi makes me hate Arteta with a passion. Hate is a strong word. Bro, not for you, lot, for the galley AM, man. Big up yourself, DG, and everyone in the DG Nation. Come on. Time flies. The game is tomorrow. It's a mad thing, innit? It's been quite a tough week for me, but I'd like to think I've risen to every challenge and we're smashing through the content. At the gym, getting the reps in, still had time to jump in the chat. I appreciate that. I'm a bit jealous. I wish I was in the gym as well. That's something that I've had to kind of rein back on this week, man. Can we get 100 likes early doors? Shout out to AM and the rest of the members out there. Josh and Raju is appreciative. Haji is saying, if we lose this game or even draw, we fans want Arteta to be sacked in the next day. Arteta out. Boy, you're not a happy bunny at all. Can't lie, I don't accept it, but I take a point. Could it be 4-4-2 tomorrow? Not a clue, Owen. I wouldn't advise that because if we're having question marks over our midfield pivot, why are we going to go with a formation that relies on that defensive midfield partnership, not defensive, sorry, to make something happen? It's a bit scary, isn't it? Or it would be a bit scary. So we'll have to assess what's going on there, man. You big up yourself, Godfrey, as well. Rap blogs, appreciative of you. Imagine trying to predict Arteta's tactics, bruv. You're having a laugh. 3 games versus Aston Villa under Arteta. 3 defeats, 9 goals scored, 5 conceded. So again, simple as that. You know where it is. You know, Villa are a bogey team. You need to be able to beat these sort of teams. You know, we're not perfect against the top 4, top 6 or whatever. We do half decent against them historically. We beat Spurs. But it's also about what you do in the smaller games. And there's so many games with respect to Aston Villa. You know, Aston Villa have our number. For me, it annoys me how we're very naive going into games like Villa, where they previously had Grealish or Barkley or whatever. You know, it's how you play against the Villas, the Wolves, the Leicesters, the Brightons, you know, the Brentfords, these sort of teams. And, you know, in the Premier League, I've told you lot before, I think it's going to get into NBA mode, people, where, you know, every one of the teams could win the league. Everyone could go down. It is what it is. And I think the gap is getting smaller with the bigger and the small teams. This is why I'm vexed of how we played against Brighton, but it's not the end of the world getting a point against them. The same goes for Crystal Palace and their somewhat resurgence under Vieira at the start of the season with Brentford. I'm not excusing how we played in any of these games because all you can be accountable is how you turn up. We haven't turned up in any of them games. Didn't happen for us against Brentford. We have to thank our lucky stars, Brighton and Brentford. I mean, Brighton and Crystal Palace, apologies, couldn't finish their dinner, or we're at their mercy and things like that. Aston Villa's due to be a brazy game, form or not. I wouldn't say they're flying high. I wouldn't say they're underperforming. I wouldn't say they're flying high. And to be fair, you could say they're underperforming because if you're behind Arsenal, it's a bit of a brazy one, if you're completely honest. But they still have a lot of threats. You know, Dean Smith seems to be quite coy on if someone like Leon Bailey is going to return. Best winger in the Premier League, the Jamaican international. So there's that. They've got John McGinn, one of my favourite players in the league. You know, with respect to Villa, I don't think he gets his flowers. We all know the threat of Watkins and Danny Ings doesn't need saying. You know, I know Arsenal are very naive, but again, you should know what Danny Ings does. He's one of the most potent players in this Premier League. And to be respectful to them, there's other players, you know, Douglas Luiz doing quite well. It's another game for me. I look at the midfield people. I look at that midfield battle, and we lost the one. This mic's pissing about. Yeah, we lost one midfield battle this week. We can't. Can you hear me, people? Yeah, we lost midfield battle this week. We can't afford to keep losing other ones. And if you do against Aston Villa, you're in trouble. And I've got a bag of thoughts. Do we go three at the back? Do we stay with a back four? I'm not gonna lie to you, lot, people. While we still look a mess, I'm starting to. Is it just a back three thing? Until, you know what, just might as well write off anything we wanted to do, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 for the rest of the season. Should we just do three at the back and see what it brings to us? Ings is probably defo scoring, man. As a Villa fan, I could say we're not in good form at the moment and are toying between a 3-5-2 or a 4-3-3. Sorry about that, people. Going on. I had to change mics. As a Villa fan, I could say we're not in good form at the moment and are toying between a 3-5-2 or 4-3-3. 3-5-2, different variations of that, seen a 4-3-3 as well. I think you will go with a 3. Traore and Bailey should be back, though, and could definitely trouble your fullbacks. Anyone could, really. Tomiyasu's going to have a big game where that's concerned. You're right, man. You know, DG, if you're up for it /have time, I'd really appreciate an in-depth look into Arteta's tactics, how he wants his team to play, why he can't at the moment, and stuff like that. A proper look at us tactically. To be honest, I could try, but I don't know for how he wants to play. I see little dribs and drabs. I don't see definitively what we're trying to do. Another huge test for TT. The whole defense, really and truly. The mic needs to behave, man. Slight audio, echo, and lag. I don't know what's going on there, but we're going to have to keep progressing, man. Some temperamental wire. Need to purchase another one on Amazon. I say that every one, and then I start forgetting people. But yeah, man. It's a difficult one. Again, it's 12th place. You know what? We might as well just get into this straight away, man. If I share my screen with you, my Google should doc sheet people. Obviously, and again, that's terrible because I don't know if you lot can actually see a damn thing. Timestamps. You will not find a YouTuber who cares more about you lot's visual experience than me. Again, making sure timestamps are there. That's timestamps for my next game. But scrolling all the way down, people, obviously, again, you know me, I love a Google Docs. When I think of Aston Villa, as I said, it's a game where at the start of the fixture calendar, I always, you look for the Spurs, the North London Derby, and Chelsea and United and City and all the rest of those things. But definitely where the last couple of years have been concerned, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Brighton, Southampton. There's probably a couple I'm missing out. These are the games I look for in our fixture calendar. First things first, just like against Crystal Palace at the Emirates last year, we got battered against Aston Villa, bullied in all aspects, physically, technically. You know, Barkley's looking like a different player. We got embarrassed, and that was a tough period for us, people. So we've got to come back from that. So first things first, just on the basis of you got embarrassed last year, try not to get embarrassed again. Man said I can't lie. Google Docs needs to run you a check. Hey man, YouTube owns them, so YouTube is owned by Google. So you don't need to. The algorithm gods need to reign on my YouTube channel. That would be payment enough. But yeah, man, Villa are a good team. They're playing 13th. Definitely a better team than that position suggests. Again, Dean Smith has got a good side. The one thing I would say with Aston Villa, like us, they concede very cheap goals and late goals at that. Like I've gone through a couple of the goals they've conceded. The goals they was conceding against Wolves was terrible. Actually, the goals they conceded against Spurs, so there's always a chance. I don't really rate Mings. I don't think he's bad, but Mings, Tashabi, Konza, you have a chance if you get out that defense. But saying that, I was saying with Guita, he looked shaky in goal against Palace, didn't take chances. Need to go and ask questions of this team. Both teams are kind of struggling for form. As you can see here, people, like us, they concede late/cheap goals. So again, and again, we can't really say players are missing because I've seen Palace bop us without Zaha, Brighton without Webster and Basuma say something to us, but they haven't got Jack Grealish anymore. Like us, they're dropping silly points, and they dropped points recently. They actually lost. It feels like a loss for us. They're a good footballing side with numerous danger men. We don't need to sit here and list, Ings, Watkins, Bailey, McGinn who can chip in. They've got a bag of young players, Ramsey, Chubamecca, all of these guys in and around the first team. That is quite nice to see at Villa actually bursting on the scene. So they've got players, Bailey, so good. I had to say him twice. Plug my Jamaican international. Please hit the like button if you haven't. We've not beaten them recently. Again, spelling error, and they've had our number. So go and do a thing. Again, for me as well, they've shown they can go away from home and cause problems. They might not have beat Chelsea. They might have ended up losing to Spurs in the end. But they beat United and they've made it complicated. Even though Chelsea wiped the floor with them 3-0 on paper, it weren't really a 3-0 sort of game for the large parts of it. We need a reaction and we need one instantly. I don't want to start, at the end of the day, we still are unbeaten. We weren't when you can't win, don't lose. We didn't lose in our last 2 games. But me personally, a lot of what we're doing is unsustainable, How we're playing, it's unsustainable. It's not good enough. Midfield is going to be a crucial battle. McGinn, Luiz, we lost the midfield battle in our last 2 games. We need a reaction. We lost it away to Brighton. We lost it against Crystal Palace, where we knew you couldn't afford to do that. Their last 5 games, they lost to Spurs, they lost to Chelsea, they've lost to Wolves as well. They've also wiped the floor with Everton, and they've beaten Man United. So it's the good, bad, and the ugly. Villa are a better team than these results are giving them credit for. It's just the fine margins whenever I've looked at Villa. You don't get credit for playing well and conceding cheap goals, but they're known to switch off or have been this season. So we're going to need to stand up to be counted in all aspects of the word. There's no time to F about, if I'm completely honest with you. 35 likes, people. Unexpected high bills for those of you who do not hit the like button. So make sure you're doing such, people. So it's bound to be an interesting one. And obviously, when you look at it from a tactical point of view, they have gone with a 4-3-3 or tried to do it at times. But if I was them, I would go to a back 3. That's maybe why Arteta might have to go and do that as well, people. You've seen about 2 different variations of such people. You've seen, again, they've got Buendia, who, again, I don't think he's been saying much since he signed for Aston Villa, but it would be Arsenal to let a previous Arsenal target, allegedly, whether we wanted him or not, to bag against us, people. As you've seen them go with 3-5-2, you've seen them go with 3-4-1-2 and variations of it, and a 4-4-2. So it looks like there's teething problems. Now, if I start to put names onto the papers, Ings and Watkins, again, when Ings signed, I thought Watkins was going to happen there, but, Watkins has showed us what he's on. Ings, we know what he's on. Street smart footballers. This guy, they both work hard. They both press with intensity. I think Ings makes better runs than Watkins. Please make sure you're aware of your man. But it's like we went against Benteke and didn't know what we was doing. Oh gosh. I hope Watkins plays. I hope that's a sign of things to come. Watkins just removed himself. But yeah, Watkins is going to work the channels. Ings is going to work the channels. It's a big day for our defenders. If I'm Ings, make that run from out to in. Arsenal always fall for it. You've probably got it in that. Buendia is probably slightly more advanced in this sort of role. But then you've got McGinn, who, again, if I see him at the edge of our area making late runs and he's not picked up, there's problems. You've got McGinn, you've got Luiz, who's getting more plaudits, mopping up things. That midfield battle is crucial. With respect to Buendia, these 2, and it's actually 5 in midfield, because obviously you've got Cash. I don't really rate Cash too tough. Get at him. Whoever's on the left-hand side, get at my man. Target is a decent player, but he's known to do bullshit as well. Pardon my language. So get at them. Simple as that, get at these individuals. And I'm not going to lie, I think Mings is good. I think Tashabi's all right. I think Konza the same. But I think collectively, them and they are suspect together. They're known. Let's be real. It's a crime that Mings is even called up to England. With respect, he's playing well, but that tells you of the talent pool. He's known to do bookie stuff. He's done bookie stuff this season. He remains, he sticks well to his task. But get at this done. He's susceptible to stuff. I can't lie to Shaby. He actually pocketed Alexis once against Arsenal. Get at him. Don't let these guys play and get more clout off you lot. Konza, don't rate at all, really. I wasn't really behind the England shouts. He's decent. Get at this. I don't really rate them, man. There. It's not my opinion, because my opinion is I don't rate them. They're playing Premier League football. You've obviously got Martinez, who, you know, if Villa get 3 points, he's gonna, he's gonna be telling that story on his deathbed, really. You know, he's gonna have his grandkids, and despite winning Copa America and FA Cup, he's gonna say, well, Arsenal got rid of me and I went to Villa, and then he's going to. Don't give this guy a wank fest to be talking about. This guy's insecure since his move from Arsenal. As I said, Aston Villa, good manager. Dean Smith had Arteta's number. Tactical battle. The midfield is crucial. The best thing we can do is press them, get in these spaces. Mings isn't going to be able to cope. Mings is a good communicator. All of a sudden, you start popping into these half channels, making him and Target have problems shouting. There's issues. Someone's got to follow runners. Again, get at them, especially that back five. I say back five of Cash, Konza, Teshabi, Mings. This is where it's going to be won or lost. The midfield battle, we're going to have to fight. And if it's Lokonga and Partey, you, man, have not been good enough in the last 180 minutes that Arsenal Football Club have played. You need to raise it, you need to up it, and you need to do it now. So, yeah, they play a couple variations of it, and they can play with a 4-3-3. What they're going to go with, I don't know. You don't rate Cash. He's been poor this season, but definitely one of the better right backs in the league. He's bog standard. There's nothing wrong with being bog standard, but like I don't understand the hype. He's all right. Like he's cool, but he's all right, man. Like I couldn't understand all the shouts of he can do this and that. Like he's calm for what he does, but he's decent going forward. But I think he's suspect. I think your whole back line is suspect. I think Mings is good. He has an error in him. Konza the same. Teshabi seems to get caught flat-footed a lot, and I've seen tough games for him. Martinez is a great keeper, but when he does do howlers, it's not spoken about. The midfield battle, truthfully, if we don't go with a back three, I think we've lost it. Danny Ings, Watkins and Danny Ings, I'm quite scared of, because again, we've got a naive defense, and we're going to need people to stand up to be counted more than ever. So we're going to have to see what's going on, man. And I love your comments, because obviously you're a Villa fan. Mings definitely has a howler in him, but is a worthy leader on the pitch. I agreed. Said that Konza too is solid, but lacking on the ball. Teshabi is the one I don't rate that much. So for me, get at these men, fam. Get at these men. But Arsenal have a mistake, and for me, the wickedest thing is Arsenal are naive. If we start well for 20 minutes, let's just say, let's just push this whole team backwards. Let's just say you see something more like this. You see. Because we're all on top of Villa, they're naturally narrow. Let's just say there's 11 bodies in their own box. I am scared, because this is where the game will be lost. We're naive. Let's just to make everybody onside, and obviously this pitch isn't to scale. We're naive. This high line will cost us. It cost us against Palace. You could see the warning signs. And Watkins and Ings are quick. I don't want to see my players in a foot race with them. Really and truly. Can we drop the line a bit deeper? Because for me, if this happens, and, again, I'm not going to put all the red shirts. We're knocking it around. We're playing well. All it takes is one smart individual. Boom. Actually, go and look at how Villa duppied us last season. A couple of goals. One of the goals was on the counter-attack. And again, this makes me feel, do we go with a back three? I do think you probably need to go two up front. Or you need to at least play players that are going to press, because as you said, you press these guys high, people are suspect on the ball. In the Premier League, you can't cower away. You need to be at it all the time, people. So if we put these guys back and talk about the lineup quickly, where's everyone? You lot are far too deep. Let's make you look more like wing backs. I don't think you lot are going to be doing that. Let's provide some width as well. Let's get you further forward, Buendia as well. Let's get the whole team a bit further forward, if we're honest with ourselves. Yeah, so it makes me think, who the hell do I play, really? So obviously, let's get you lot away. I'm tempted to go to a back three. A part of me wants to go with a 4, but I'll go with this first. People, hit the like button if you haven't already. I'd go with a back three, man. I think it's time for it, because we just look too much of a shambles across all aspects, man. The problem, obviously, is who is the third centre-half. I don't know, and I guess I'm going to have to think about that. But I'll probably go 3-5-2 if I'm honest with you. The fullbacks will be there. If I had to go with a back three, I hear the 3-4-3 shouts, but me personally, I'm trying to do something like this, man. Pardon me. Let's advance these lots further forward as well. That's our fullbacks. Put our centre mids together. Fullbacks up there. And then obviously you have your two strikers. And I say that purely because obviously Ramsdale, go and go for me. For me, again, Even when we have the numbers, people don't press together. I think the first thing I want to do is catch these lot. If we come and the fans get on top of them and we start fast, again, people are suspect. Mings can be caught on the ball. Konza can be caught on the ball. If we've got a back three, force them long. As great as Watkins and Ings are, if there's 3 of you, 5 off the ball, if our fullbacks drop back, or realistically anyways, Tomiyasu should probably tuck in and make it an official 4, even though it's a back 3, should be able to deal with those long balls. Force them long. Let them get caught in possession. And to be honest, a lot of that can only be achieved with 2 strikers. I think that's a cheap and easy way of getting Mr. Aubameyang and Lacazette in. And obviously Lacazette, he drops deep. If they're on top of us, we've got an extra body dropping in. So for me, part of me wants to go to a 3-5-2. I can't lie to you. If anyone's going to play the 10 for me, it would be Smith Rowe. I don't think Odegaard's cut the mustard in his last 2 games. We can't afford to keep carrying people. So I'm going to go with Smith Rowe. Boy, I can't lie to you. You lot got one more chance. Can't lie. Lokonga and Partey, you both look shaky the last 2 games. Now or never, and it's self-explanatory. Obviously, you've got Tomiyasu there, Kieran Tierney picks himself without a doubt. What else have we got? Let's put Ramsdale because we're doing him a bit dirty. I'm going to need Ramsdale's leadership qualities as well. The back 3, I can pick 2 of them, but even that, I'm not really convinced with Ben White against 2 street smart individuals. I only really believe in Gabriel in my heart. You could obviously throw Tierney in there. You could throw Tomiyasu there. You could do a bunch of stuff. Oh, man. I don't know where we go with this, because again, let me just go with the 2 I can pick. I go Gabriel. And even Ben White and Tomiyasu in this channel doesn't fill me with any praise. It's who gets it. I'll probably lean towards holding a bit more, really. There's no Saliba to... Is it frozen? Like, maybe that's God telling me forget the holding thing, but I'd probably lean towards holding. I'm not here for the Marie thing. I don't care how good of a reader he is in the game. Tierney could move across and you could put Saka there or do something. I don't even know if Saka is fully fit. If Saka, that's why I purposely called it out. If Saka is not fully fit, then for me, probably, well, you'd have to probably put Gabriel. You'd have to put Gabriel in the middle, but I do think you could save Ben White potentially. I'd probably do something along the lines of that. If Saka is fit, I don't really care what people have to say about fullback. It's either he does it in this game or fuck off. Then really, probably if we're going with a back 5, I'll go with that. I think that gives us a chance. Smith Rowe does press quite well. In fact, Odegaard does as well. And if Odegaard starts, he can make himself a hero. But for me, the midfield, the strikers are going to get a lot of attention, and they should. But it's this. And for me, like I said, on the transition, if we're going with a high line, what I would like to see ideally, if we're trying to get in, if we're trying to do much, I want to see Saka spread out there as much as he can. Pause. Tierney the same. Again, Tomiyasu, go and give us that license and become a back 3 out of possession. Gabriel can move over. Ben White can move over. Again, we're going to need a lot of pressing, and Smith Rowe typically gets into these pockets, so the right wing role can be looked after. Lokonga, you need to help out in this space. Partey, I need an improvement, and you're the most senior player, so I need you to do the quote-unquote Xhaka role. This is how we get at them, really and truly. If not that, and we're going with a 4, then I'm not really sure if we was to switch it up. If we're going with a 4, then I'm probably going something along the lines of this. Saka, if fit, let me put an asterisk. So again, it's between these 2. If Saka's fit, then he plays. Nothing changes too much for me. I'll go with Smith Rowe in that 10. In fact, it's probably the same team if we're going with a back 4. But I don't feel comfortable with a back 4 against Villa. I don't feel comfortable with a back 4 until this team start looking like a team, if I'm honest with you. As much as I want 3-3-3-4, 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So I'm probably leaning towards that as my actual thing. But I know I've been a big critic of player Aubameyang through the middle and whatnot, but these 2 are going to help each other press. If you lot press properly, if Lacazette presses properly, Aubameyang presses properly, and with Aubameyang, immediately, Matty Cash is not slow, but you have to think twice about going forward. Target with Pepe and Saka. Saka's got a bit better IQ. Can we present issues? Now, Mings probably knows about Saka, seen him up close, obviously, for England duty and whatnot. Big up Mings, because I like how he carries himself, especially when it comes to talking about other issues in the game. But I need Lacazette to start because he's going to drop into midfield. And if it goes against us, Louise is a good passer. Primary job is to mop up. McGinn does it all. And one thing I don't want to see is McGinn cannot make that late run and not be picked up. He's made a career at Villa from what I see there. Buendia ain't heard too much of him. You know, I know Buendia and Maddison aren't doing much this season because, you know, Arsenal's not being criticised in the media for not signing either player. But he can make a name for himself. Ings and Watkins, again, it's a day where you lot are going to have to be brave in possession. It's a game for leadership. Is what it is. Do you think Benjamin White is better than Mings? Yeah, I actually do. I actually do. I think Mings is more street smart as a defender, but I'd rather Ben White. I can't lie. I actually think Mings is more a defender than Ben White. I think Ben White's them pretty boys, new defenders, can ball play and whatnot. But personally, I'd rather Ben White, but I don't think anyone would do the 50 mil thing. Both duds, really, for honest with ourselves at this moment in time. But yeah, that's what I want to see from a thingy, man. You know, again, this is it. Mings is bitch. You know what it is with Mings? Benjamin White is the pretty boy. He's a privileged footballer. He's never had to grind for this thing, really and truly. With respect to him, Mings has been released and had to work and all these things. He's had to come up through the leagues. Obviously, if you're coming up through the leagues, you can't be a pretty boy. And that's actually why I'm a bit surprised with a lot of Ben White's play, because you was at Leeds and you've been on loan at Newport in the nitty-gritty lower divisions. I don't see any of that sort of street smartness. You do come across as a bit naive. But I would rather Ben White play for my club than Mings, even though I actually like Mings. I've got admiration for him, but it's two duds, really. Like, if I'm completely honest with you. So that's where I'm at in terms of my position, people. Really and truly, you know, that's where I'm at in terms of what I feel of the game. Let's make a timestamp, really, just to spread these things out. Pause. 26:50. Yeah, big up to everybody locked in. Mings is a bit rash for me. Can't keep doing this Aubameyang Lacazette. Someone has to be dropped. They do, and I agree with it. But I think for this game, I think we need people that are going to press. And I think Lacazette's got too hunger because he's on the bench. Aubameyang pressed well. We need to press. And for me, I'd rather the imbalance that might bring, because I know that's two man that's going to press. One, and then Smith Rowe might see it and get involved. One, as you lot saw in the last game, one guy pressing is rubbish, sort of thing. Bro, this Partey Lokonga thing doesn't bang. It ain't banged, but we're going to need it. We're going to need it to, either in that game or in general, because as I say, throughout a season, if Arsenal was in my image, you need to be able to play 2 6s, 2 8s, 8 and a 6, you know, 3 number 10s, but different things to different games. White is a better baller, but can be bullied too easily given his height and strength. I don't think he's got any strength. Does Martinelli not make your starting lineup? To be fair, Martinelli could get in the team. You could pop off the left, but again, how else do you get Lacazette in without moving Aubameyang to the left, where I don't think Aubameyang should be dropped. Not really down for the Martinelli off the right thing for now. If Saka and Pepe probably be my other options, really. But you're right, it could be something. You could go with Lacazette and Martinelli off the left. But again, I wouldn't drop Aubameyang for this game. I said I would have dropped him if he didn't have a good performance against Palace. I think up until Lacazette's introduction, I think he's the best player on our pitch for us. So you've earned your spot, captain. I don't know why we paid so much for Ben White. I can clearly see Mings is a defender. I've seen nothing to suggest Ben White is a defender. And that's what I'm at. Like, these new age defenders, they're, you know, man are talking about the ball playing and all these sort of things, which you need that, but, you know, you need to be able to do the basics, really and truly. Hey, DG, only just joined, but I'd like to see Laka and Aubameyang partner together similar to the end of the Palace game. Same. We need to run the same formation for a lengthy period of time because they don't understand what needs to be done most of the time, and we keep chopping and changing just to simplify the game. I hear that, but we actually haven't really changed it in the last few games, and I think in the Prem, as you know, you have to change things slightly. So it could be something, you know, again, it's just actually escaped me, but Tomiyasu could be moved to centre half and you could bring Ainsley Maitland-Niles in and solve some certain things in that regards. But yeah, man, I'm mainly just trying to go to a back 4-3 because I think we're too open on the transition, and mainly because people are pressing by themselves, which, as you don't know, is borderline stupidity. In fact, is stupidity. I mean, Tomiyasu, you know, I would like him to be a part of it, really, you know. He's good in the air, you know. We need that against Ings and whatnot. But, you know, we also need to cover those wide areas. You know, if Watkins has the ball, you need to know where Ings is, because Ings is a street smart individual. He'll peel off. You won't know where he is. You think you've dealt with it until the ball's in the back of the net. And you got to be careful of these English players, especially when it's a World Cup year and people want to get called up and things. And not that Villa have been playing amazing, but maybe Danny Ings feels potentially hard done by not getting the call up to the latest England team. So let's not give people praise and whatnot. Arsenal ain't scoring, so we need Laka and Oba playing together. Just predicted Arsenal 2-0 Arsenal. Oba to score first in the 21st minute on the Arsenal website. Seeing how many chances Brighton had to put us away at the back, to put us away. A back three is well on the cards because Villa have more better players on the receiving. And exactly with respect to Brighton, you give away some of these, you give Aston Villa some of these opportunities, but they're putting 3, 4, 5, 6 past you. I swear they put 3 past us last time. So again, these players need to understand what they're going into. You just need to learn, self-explanatory. If I played against ABC United, the first time I played against them, we got dealt with. Second time, I'm going to remember certain things. And for me, it must be embarrassing. Is it not embarrassing getting rubbed out 3-0? Is it not embarrassing, the question marks coming through? For me, I honestly think, especially when I see the way we took the lead against, how we reacted, with taking the lead against Palace, there's too much complacency, and it was there when we won the FA Cup as well. It's almost like we feel that we've developed past certain periods, we've written certain wrongs, and as you know, Arsenal got a long way to go, man. Aston Villa this time last year was the worst Arsenal performance I've ever seen. Have a feeling it could be the same, and it's down to them to make sure. Who's the best right back in the league? I mean, Trent by a distance. I'm a big fan of Reece James. I wouldn't say the best, but I think Lamptey and James Justin, if he gets over his injury, could have a shout. Probably missing out there, guys. I think Tomiyasu is better than Cash. I'm throwing Tomiyasu out there on a shameless one. Yeah, man. I'm busting myself out there as well. Come on, man. I gotta be up there for fullback as well, man. I'm living off this for 10 years. I can't lie to you. Come on, man. Matty Cash ain't doing that. Cash ain't doing that. Tomiyasu can only dream of attacking like that. You mad? But anyways, enough on the nonsense. Well, he could never do that. But anyways, I'm throwing myself into the ring. Gareth Southgate, get me. Shout me. Let's put me on the fitness regime, and I'm there. DG, not gonna lie, from 2011 when we lost 2-1 to Brighton, we've always had good and bad teams. I don't know. I just want to see a W, generational change at Arsenal, 3-4-3 time. Will Saka be back for Friday, or will he sit out after the angry volley from McCarthy? Well, apparently he's not trained today. They'll probably leave it down to the wire. If he's suffering any discomfort, don't play the man. Would be it for me. Crazy, man. Big up the Australians. Appreciate you, Tony James from Perth. I hear the Laka and Oba partnership, but it's been tired for us before. Would like to see Smith Rowe left. TT better pattern up. Trust. Yeah, we know we're not conceding. We know we're conceding. Interesting comments. Keep them arriving, people. So I think we're all in agreement of what the hell we expect to happen in the game, man. Aye, Jamaica, shout me, man. Shout me. The likes are disrespectful. Please hit the like button, guys, as C has said. Obviously, go and set your reminders for the next watch along, which is at 5:20, folks. Aye, Cancelo, can't forget him. There's too many. Shout out Cancelo as well. He's up there. Can't be fucking Matty Cash. I want this game so bad, but I know Arteta will simply send us out with crap tactics and an unbalanced setup. As expected, Arsenal have released their propaganda video. I ain't even watching all that nonsense. I think Saka and Smith Rowe need a break, man. Smith Rowe doesn't have the vision and it's killing Pepe. Smith Rowe runs with his head down until he's ready to shoot or pass. It's not necessarily fair, but in the last game, it did look like that. Pepe could have had 2 goals. I'm worried Saka might not play. I'm not being funny. I am as well. But, I mean, what have we got a bloody squad for? And this is where I'm looking at Arteta. Let's be real. As great as Saka is, he's vital to our team. There should not be too much of a drop-off. You've got Martinelli, you've got Pepe, whatever people say. I don't want to lose this game and have another one or draw or whatever and have another game where we're waffling about a player that isn't involved. Injuries. I wouldn't say having your volley, having your calf and your leg just kicked off by some thug. I wouldn't say that's part and parcel of football, but injuries, suspensions, all these things are part and parcel of the game. And I do think Arsenal and Arteta have twanged people to believe that, we're not supposed to get the job done regardless of certain things. Crazy, man. What do you think Ramsdale's weaknesses are? think he's got a mistake in him. I might even say overconfidence, really. But I haven't seen enough in the Arsenal shirt to say there's significant weaknesses. Like we could look at Martinez, man said Martinez, Leno, and say collecting from crosses, distribution. So far, I don't think there's anything significant, glaringly, that I think he can improve. I would say maybe potential overconfidence on the ball, though. There's been little dribs and drabs where I think he's done stuff he couldn't do, but they're minimal. I don't know what our ideal formation is. Probably what we see Arteta doing right now, but wait, it can't be 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 with the way we're moving. I expect 4 points from Palace and Villa. After the Palace performance, it's looking like we got to hold one. Wait. It's looking peak, man. Hopefully we get the job done, man. Brother, we're really begging for Saka. He's been poor all season, minus a few moments. Saka needs to hold bench, and Arsenal fans need to raise their standards. I agree with you, but what we can't do is act like Saka isn't one of our better players and doesn't offer something even on a bad day. Like even on a bad day against Palace, him winning that corner has eventually led to the goal. Obviously, Pepe done his thing. I do understand it, but we've got to remember again, pardon me, in which I agree with. We need to do a bit better, and we should be able to get over the line. And we've got an over reliance on young players. I'll be honest, DG. I'll be disappointed if we take all 3 points at the Emirates. I think you mean to say if we don't take 3 points at the Emirates, Arsenal are there for the taking, as you should. Aston Villa's form's been a bit shaky. Like every team that plays Arsenal, you should be looking at it as, okay, cool, this is the game now where we get our season back on track. Benteke, as we knew into the game, didn't have a goal in 7 before he kicked the ball for Arsenal. Now look what he's got, a goal in 8. We get people's career going, so they should be. And that's the thing. On top of everything, Ings and Watkins should be saying, yo, obviously, I don't think they can do it, but they should all believe I could win the Golden Boot. They should be like, yo, you know what? This Arsenal defense, I hear Tomiyasu's doing his thing, Ramsdale's doing his thing, but they're young. We've been through the blocks, Watkins been in the Championship, Ings been through the levels, Let's go and get some goals. Let's go and show how naive this defense is, because, again, against Crystal Palace, against Brighton, there's been their moments, and it's coming, so you should be. Everyone looks at Arsenal as a 3 points. Everyone is disappointed. Even Thomas Frank, minute my man come up from the Championship, boy, I'm disappointed. I would have been disappointed. So you're there, man. It's an issue, man. Same thing DG said. Arteta makes man use that as an excuse when a player is out. Never heard of that when Wenger or Emery was in charge. Bro, obviously, if Cristiano Ronaldo don't play for United, you can sit there and say, yo, what's going on? But you need to get the job done. Like, there's no excuses. I think we're freezing. What's going on here, Google? What the hell? Is my charger in? I think we're freezing. Sorry, folks. Fuck. I might just... Are we back? I don't know. I might just close this and open it back, people, really quickly. Could be a bit laggy. One sec, folks. Let me close this. It's not even closing, folks. We're just doing a mazza. I think it's a computer thing. Apologies, people. Some mad thing. That was some nonsense. I don't know what happened there, but we go again, man. Technical difficulties. Always hating on the players, but we go again. People don't hate the players, hate the game and things like that. So yeah, we go on. As we was talking about, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I don't know what we was talking about, folks. In fact, are we back on Google? I think we can get back in there. So back in here, folks. So yeah. I think we're doing all right there. So yeah, as we was cracking on, we was talking about Arsenal, Aston Villa, and what could happen in this game. So yeah, it is what it is, people. We already know what to expect. We already know what could happen and whatnot. Oh my god, what the fuck is going on here? So yeah, let's start wrapping this up, man. Cause I don't want this to start fucking up for you lot, people. So let's get into it. I mean, we've spoken from a tactical point of view. I guess all that's left is Mikel Arteta's press conference and what he has or hasn't said, people. One love to everybody tuned in. It's what it is. Fuck this off. 44-15. Make sure the mic is cool as well. What else are you guys saying in the comments as well? Again, let's just go with them, man. Having a terrible day with tech. Fuck MacBooks. If Leon Bailey is fit, Arsenal are going to have problems. I mean, to be fair to you, Villa have problems all over the field. I'm still here, my guy. Don't worry. They can't stop the thing. As I keep saying, people, who's playing today? I was about to say Leicester. We're doing a Leicester watch along soon. Lazio Marseille, that's it. We're playing, people. Shout to DG. While DG's away, what's everyone's predictions for Friday? I appreciate you lot, man. You see how you lot keep it going. You lot are clutch. I'm basically a striker. I've lost the ball. You lot have mopped up, and you lot are saying, DG, stop losing the ball up there. We need to win. I appreciate that. Hudson-Odoi has been moving mad since you rubbed him out, DG. What? Because he scored against Malmo. Tell Matisse he's not out the hood yet. What? Generational talent, Hudson-Odoi. Like 300 million a week to bad up Malmo. The same game that I'm seeing Thiago Silva and them man do the centre half doing crosses. Allow it, man. Allow it, bro. What form, though, he isn't going to turn into Salah. 1-0 Villa. Arteta hasn't beaten Villa. I mean, you lot are, I'm going with 2-1 Arsenal. Greasy 2-1, but many people are not giving us a chance at all. Crazy, gazy, but it doesn't matter. Moving mad. Let's get to 100 likes, people. Again, the universe don't want us to get there, though. They're trying everything to hold us down, people. Trying their best. We're at 75 likes, though. It's not the best, but it could be a lot better. Still appreciative. One love to everybody that's tuned in. But yeah, cracking on, people. Cracking on a serious note. Let's see what Mikel Arteta has had to say, and also Dean Smith. Arteta presser. Sorry. Arteta press conference. That's Dean Smith. Sorry, folks. Now I can bring it on screen. Where is it? Let's go with Mikel, please. Arteta, no waffle, man. I can't take it. Please just call us a spade. See what's going on. Boy, big statement like that. We know what we need to do to beat Villa. Okay. That's how you're moving. Make sure. Arteta on Lacazette team news, Villa, etc. And it's the transcript, people. Obviously, he held his press conference, and let's see what he said. On latest team news, he has said, we have a training session today. We have 2 or 3 players who finished the game against Crystal Palace with some issues, so we have to assess them. 2 or 3. I thought it was only Saka, but fair play. Appreciate you for hitting the like button, my guy. On Bukayo Saka's fitness, he hasn't trained yet, so again, we'll have to assess him today and how it is. Obviously, Saka's one will go down to the wire. Obviously, we hope the bruising or whatever happened has, that's causing him issues, is out of there. On Lacazette's hopes of featuring on a more regular basis, keep doing what he's doing. He had a good impact as well when he came on against Brighton, and he's a player since I've been here, has played a lot, has been really important, and will continue to be important. Well, I mean, you could have started him in both those 2 games, and he might have helped us a bit more. On playing without the handbrake on in the future, we can't, because Arteta is a cautious twat. After scoring the goal, and after hitting the level of performance that we hit after the first part of the game, just make sure that we go for the second goal and continue to play with the same fluidity, the same intention, and we are going to start to defend something that we have earned, because the game is really long and we have to do that for larger periods of the game. This is crazy, man. Anyways, on Aston Villa, it's a test. They have shown how difficult they can be against us because we haven't got the results that we wanted against them recently. So we know they have improved their squad. The way they've played a lot in the last few seasons, they are showing a lot of ambition, the way they're recruiting as well. And it will be a difficult game for sure. And I'd rather be where Villa are than us at this moment in terms of off the field. You know, it's refreshing going back to the summer. You know, they're saying why we sold Grealish, you know, the money we sought to do, you know, is that, you know, what we tried to do. There's just clarity with what Villa have done on and off the field, whether they're excelling this year or not. And to be fair, that could be said for almost every team apart from us. On if he'll give an update on players he has slight concerns about. No, there are a few. On whether Saka will be available for Friday, I am not a betting man, and it is down to the doctors and himself to see how he recovers, how he feels when he trains today and tomorrow. On his importance, he is very important. He has shown how important he is for the team. On the reception Lacazette received when he came on against Palace, I think he was able to transmit that energy, and that was contagious for the rest of the team and for the squad. I mean, the stadium. He created a different atmosphere straight away with his energy and his quality as well, and the determination he showed to change the result, and that belief he had in himself that he could do it. On Lacazette's contract running down, it's the situation we have. We have to accept it. I cannot ask anything for the player. FO that says the way he is dealing with that situation is not an individual situation because it has knock-on effects as others we have to deal with in the past, and we have to see what the best option will be for everyone at the end of the season. I mean, he's never going to say Laka can go. It's like Guendouzi. He didn't say Guendouzi has a future at Arsenal, but he didn't rule it out, and he's not going to. You know, we spoke about this already last thing. You know, we know Lacazette's giving his all regardless, so I'm not going to read that out, people. You know, when asked if Lacazette would stay if it's up to him, he didn't say anything. He didn't say Lacazette's a player I want to keep. He has said that with other individuals. Again, every time we sit here and we do this, people, it's like Arsenal don't even try and proofread, and this is coming from someone that can barely spell, let alone do the grammar thing. What the fuck is this PN? I think that's meant to say on Dean Smith and whether the club's faith in him is paying off. I mean, it obviously is paying off. I really like him, first of all, as a person. Everything I've heard from him is really positive. He's building a team and a club with different ambitions, and credit to him and the owners, obviously, for giving him the time and the credit to do that. He's doing a really good job. Well, Dean Smith has earned his time. On Villa having 48 hours longer to prepare for the match, and if it will make a difference, we know about this sort of stuff. There's been times we've had longer to prepare than other people, and other teams have looked a fresher team than us. So it's not making any sense, and I don't really want to hear it, man. I hope not. I hope we've had enough time and everyone's focused and available. We play at home. We know the type of game we need to play to beat them, and our only focus is that. You know, shout out to Jack Wilshere saying Tini's the fastest player, but I can't lie. I only care about 3 points. I don't really give a shit about that. On whether Mikel will say if Lacazette will be starting on Friday or not, obviously, you know I will not do that. On whether we got an explanation as to why James McArthur was sent off on Monday, wasn't, better yet. If that was Granit Xhaka is either in Belmarsh. In fact, he's in Belmarsh, and he'll probably get exported to the USA and be serving time in Guantanamo Bay and be waterboarded and the rest of it, people. If it was Granit Xhaka or any Arsenal player, I do think, you know, I think you can criticize players. That comes with the sport. You can criticize managers, pundits, even opinion, but you cannot ask a question of the holy grail, which is the referees. And the referees are like police to me. People look at these guys like they're mad. They got mad morals. They got mad integrity. They can never hurt a fly. They can never do wrong. The referees are susceptible to bias. They watch the Premier League like us. What if they say Arsenal are soft? That's going to play a part when they're giving fouls, to the point where literally Saka's leg is booted off, really and truly. And even then, it should have been a second yellow card. Crazy. But for me, rightly or wrongly, we can't account for these things. You know, that is not why we didn't pick up 3 points against Palace. You know, there's certain things that we could have adjusted. Of course, if they go down to 10 men, the game gets changed on it and gets flipped. You know, it would have been crazy and very different talking points. Had McArthur maybe went on and added a third, it didn't happen. We know refs are against us. As much as I don't agree with it, and it's not Sunday League, how many of you have played grassroots football and you have dodgy refs? You have to play to the whistle. You need to be accountable for what you have. It just feels like we look for excuses. There's tiredness, there's fatigue, there's injuries, there's refs. You know, the referees the world is against Arsenal. We don't need to be against ourselves. We harm ourselves at times as well. So I don't really care if we got an explanation. I don't really care. At the end of the day, Mike Dean made the wrong decision. I don't know, you know, what's the point having VAR? Because that comes down to me as a clear and obvious error. Your man's booted off Saka's legs. Fair enough. And as I said at the time, I didn't feel it was a red card, straight red. I felt it was a second yellow though, because Smith Rowe was given a yellow for less than MacArthur. Maybe Mike Dean has some Palace fans in his family. I don't know. With respect to Arteta, it's gone, so I'm not going to go on. On Klopp's comments about Liverpool winning dirty and whether we need to adopt this mentality, I mean, let's be real. We got a dirty point in our last 2 games. We have won ugly. It's just we're not trying to win ugly. We're just playing ugly, and that's what seems to happen, really and truly. He said, yes, my focus is to, and to be honest, all Arteta does is play ugly. You know, even in some of our most memorable wins, very few times have we played well for 90 minutes. You know, we beat Liverpool a couple of years ago with Lacazette and Nelson because they made errors. Fantastic counter-attacks in the games against Chelsea and City in the FA Cup, but that was the counter-attacking stuff, you know. Last couple of times we've beaten Chelsea, it's been off the back of mistakes. The Old Trafford game was ugly. Let's be real. What are we on about here? We're waffling. Like, all we do is play ugly. You know, even the Spurs game was ugly, apart from the first 45 minutes. What are we talking about? My focus is to win and play well. This is what we have to do. You're not playing well. You're not really winning. When we were playing well, when was that? And in phases, when we were playing well, we dominated the game. Bro, the game can't be about phases. It's about 90 minutes, man. We generated the chances and we deserved to win the game. When? Where was this? The issue comes when we start to not, when we don't start to do that. When you don't do that, you have to show enough resilience and know how to manage those situations like we had to do against Brighton. We didn't manage no situations against Brighton. Brighton couldn't finish their dinner. Stop gassing it, man. Like, actually, like, no, that's not what happened. And still being able to win the match. Sometimes individual actions such as a set piece helps you do that. Of course, it's another way of winning. It has to be present in the way the team acts, people. I don't know. I'll go on for Arteta with that comment, people. I really don't know. On Buendia and whether Arsenal were close to signing him, he said, I never disclosed the players that were interested in. I'm not going to do that. One love to Steve Bruce, but that's a whole lot of stuff that ain't really with us. Don't really care. He spoke about Lacazette's contract again. You know, he's not ruled out Lacazette getting a new deal. We spoke about this earlier, people. You know, he said, no, we'll see, anything's possible. You know, I'm not going to, I'm quite tired of talking about Lacazette, really. On being asked to play on Friday after playing on Monday, it's very strange when we have no European football. It's difficult to understand. What's there to understand? You're playing on a Monday, Friday, you had the international break. Make sure you lot are ready for 2 cup finals. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But it is what it is, and we can give our opinion, but in the end of the day, we have no say in that. Bro, it's irrelevant. There's some people that are probably going to play today on Thursday and play on Saturday. You know, the Champions League clubs are playing on Tuesday/Wednesday and going to play on Saturday, Sunday. What are we talking about? Everyone's got 2 games a week. But Arteta, what the fuck you on about, man? Pissing me off, I can't lie. On whether it puts him at a disadvantage. No, it does not. I don't want to think like that. If we focus on the game, we have enough days to recover and prepare for the game. That's what we're going to do. On the sale of Martinez and Ramsdale, we made decisions with the best possible intentions. No, you betted on Leno, and Leno showed you he's a weasel, and now you had to, you know, you had to go and bring in Ramsdale. That's what happened. And looking for the best interest of the club. But as well, it was a very strong participant. It was Emil who deserves all the who deserves all the credit for the amount of time he spent at the club. And don't forget, he had different spells in his career. He got to a point in his career where, when under me, he started to play in important games, and he did extremely well. His ambition, his belief, and where he wants to take his career was very different, and it was urgent for him because he was so patient for so long. He didn't rate my man. And I'm really happy that he's doing well. He's a great keeper. I played with him. I managed him, and he has tremendous personality as well. Blah, blah, blah. On Leno, we said we have 2 fantastic keepers and we have another 2 academy players behind him. I think we're really strong in that position at the moment. Are we? Let's call a spade a spade. Leno wants to bust out them 2 academy players. If a madness happens, they're not ready to play first team football. You saw it from pre-season. They're not. On playing 4-3-3 and whether he picks and chooses when to use it, as you should be able to have one central formation and be able to deviate. I mean, what one for the questioning? Who's asking these questions, man? Fuck off out of here now. Again, if we play 4-3-3, the way we played the first 20 minutes, we win the games. But if we start to play the way we played the following 20 minutes, it doesn't work. Because again, that is a transition game, and we don't have the players to do that when we play in that formation. The play in the last 20 minutes was something that we haven't done a lot as well, but it worked because we generated what we wanted. We have to be flexible, and we have to play players in their strengths and when they're not playing. Boy, says it all. Stop saying fuck while sports presenting it. It shows a lot about you, bro. Bro, you're not my guy. I don't know you from anywhere. If I want, I hear you. But if I want to swear or not, I can do what the fuck I want to do, big man. You know, I can do whatever. You don't know nothing about me to tell me it says a lot about you. That's no water off my. That's no skin off my nose, Mister Roland from wherever you're from. Your baby mama as well, because I'm sure she don't feel that way. So yeah, it is what it is where Mikel Arteta is concerned, people. But anyways, away from all of that, you know, Dean Smith has been coy on a couple fitness things. He said Leon Bailey hasn't ticked all the right boxes for the medical staff yet. We're hopeful he'll be ready for the Arsenal game. Sanson and Davis are back in full training. If we go over to Aston Villa as well, I always like to hear what the players have said, you know. Axel Tishabi says Aston Villa are fully focused on taking 3 points against Arsenal at the Emirates. See, they relish it. They think they can do it. Bearing in mind we're a point behind them, and they lost their last game, so they should want to win 3 points because they robbed themselves of 3 points against Wolves. Really, they threw it away. So it is what it is. Arsenal over the last few years have had a rocky spell, but it doesn't mean they're not going to perform come Friday. We still respect them, still think they're a top side, and they still play football in a top manner. I think you're gassing it a bit. We have our plan and know what we need to do. They're under pressure and need to win every game. Teams like that can be very dangerous. They've got threats. We need to nullify and then focus on how to beat them. You know, he's also bigged up playing at Aston Villa and how it's home and stuff. But, you know, if you're a Villa fan, you're going to have to take that in yourself. Let's try and see what my man Dean Smith, a manager I've got admiration for. What has he said? Team news, as he said, Matty Cash had to come off against Wolves with a dead leg, but he's back training now, so he's fine. We just spoke about Bailey. And on top of that, he said Traore, Davis, also back in training. He also said the likes of Traore and Bailey have come back from 4 or 5 weeks out, so they need to build up fitness. So maybe one will start and you'll see what they can do in 45 minutes slash an hour. One will clearly come off the bench, get the last half an hour. Again, they've got great players. We focused on Ings and Watkins. Bro, they've got Bailey, they've got Traore, they've got McGinn, they've got players. They've got them. For me, it's them young players. I know Ramsey gave away a foul that ultimately led to the deflected free kick that never slapped in. But yeah, man, there's some issues there, you know. On Wolves analysis, he said, I've played Wolves 5 times as a manager, and that's the most comfortable I've been in a game against them. We probably didn't deserve to be 2 goals up, but a goal at least. It wasn't a collapse. We had to defend a couple soft free kicks and corners, and we won the first contact on most. Sometimes there's a randomness in football that can happen. After the second goal, we were the team that looked likely to score the winner. There was some fortune in their winner, a free kick that's going wide and deflecting. You get what you deserve over a season. We didn't get what we deserved over that one game. On the whole, I was pleased with part of our game. It's true, and to be fair, I think he's been a bit harsh on Wolves, and I think, you know, he's been a bit overly positive where Aston Villa are. I mean, man are 2-0 up. You lost 3-2. That's an L. That doesn't mean much. Score more goals then. You know, it's apparently his 3-year anniversary as gaffer, you know, and I'm sure it's business. I'm sure, you know, it'll feel a sense of accomplishment, but I'm sure it's business as usual, and the best way to celebrate that is 3 points. He's an Arsenal fan, Mr. Watkins. He has annihilated us. He is now an England international. Watch out for my man. But on Arsenal, he said people were saying they were in a crisis after the first 3 games of the season, and that was with COVID-19 outbreak in their camp for the first game and games against the league and European champions. They've come back as we all suspected they would. They've drawn the last couple of games, so we can take some heart in that. Exactly. They're sitting there and saying, you know what, if we can finish our chances like Palace, unlike Palace, and not give away cheap goals, if we can, you know, kill off a game like Brighton, we're taking it. Rightly so. Villa should believe they can take 3 points against us. Simple as that. He also said we also take some heart from what we've done in the last month, or what we've done in the last month in our last 4 or 5 games. They're the ones that have to judge us by in terms of our performances. And it's true, man. Both teams should be believing they could get 3 points, people, if I'm completely honest. If not, then why are you playing football, really and truly? People, please don't forget, you know, in just under an hour, well, just over an hour, better yet, Lazio versus Marseille watch-along, people. Make sure you're all there. Again, we're doing a watch-along for Arsenal Villa tomorrow. Make sure you're there for that. Couple more questions before we keep it moving, people. Obviously, we're pressed for time. Man tried to call man's character into question over an F word. Less of that, big man. Bro, what would he do at a football stadium then? What would he do in a game of football? What would he do in the change room? Come on now, man. Where do you see Arsenal finishing this season? On a level, to finish top 8 is an achievement. Where do Arsenal fans see themselves come the last game? Keep it honest, guys. 8th or below, if we carry on like this, I wouldn't call it achievement. Well, I'm not the one, man. It's not hard to beat us. Just sit back and close down. You'll get something from the game. And you know, we always self-capitulate, man. You're right, it's my channel, man. I really dislike that you cuss because your vocab is limited. But I can take opinions, but it says a lot about you. But you don't know me from nowhere. What this? Nothing that you don't. I get questioned by integrity because I swore. Get there, like, yeah, man. Bro, Arteta, I like Arteta for what it is. I do like him, but you know, he's killing me with these statements, man. Like, it's cool, spade's a spade. I like honesty, man. I don't like lying to ourselves. Perhaps we should try Tomiyasu as a centre back and White as a right back. White is said to be better ball player, so could get forward a bit more. I hear that, but White was brought to be a centre half. Tomiyasu, sorry, is brought to be a right back. Let them man there play, man. Bare players are running down their deal, man. I can see what Arteta is trying to build, but the world of football don't give you time. You earn time. You earn time. That's it. That's all it is. You earn time. And to be fair, he's being given time, but relegation settings loading. I don't think we're gonna get relegated, my guy. But I appreciate you for wishing good stuff on Arsenal. Get out of here, man. It's all love, though, man. One love to the rival fans tuned in as well. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. We're still shy of 100 likes, people. There's 177 of you. There's only 96 likes. So I can't lie. Unexpected high bills due. And them things there. To be fair, I like Tomiyasu. He's just a limited player going forward. I mean, if he's just not a world-class, amazing player, he's someone that he's competent. He can do his job. He can be relied upon. I don't mind Tomiyasu, if I'm completely honest with you. If not top 6, Arteta out will be too loud. Boy, should be out anyways. It's all about the manner of what we're playing. I'll take a scumbag thing, somehow getting into these positions. But, I mean, if you look at Arsenal honestly and think we're going to do serious things, potentially setting yourself up for failure, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, man, I can't lie. On that note, people, I'm gonna get out of here. As I said, please make sure you're at the next watch along, which is in just over an hour. Tomorrow, obviously, we'll be doing Arsenal versus Aston Villa, among other things. So make sure you're there. So yeah, I'm gonna grab a quick food before we do this thing, people. So make sure you're there for all of that. But before we get out of here, that filming time, Arteta will be looking at his arm with seconds left till death, convincing himself, let's go. It's let go the process. Hear that, Fred? Arteta answers on Lacazette, very disappointing. Base performance on last year, deserves to start. I mean, to be honest, I think it's just standard. I wouldn't say it's disappointing personally. He's more of a centre-back than a right-back. I disagree respectfully. Just an old-school sort of right-back looking. It's mad. Top 8 is not an achievement with what we have spent. Top 6 should be a guarantee. The managers before fought for top 4 with less and were killed for less. I'm a Palace fan. There's no creativity in your attack. Bro, tell him again. Team prediction. Scroll back, my guy. We've done that. But yeah, man. Let me go grab a quick food and then get ready for my next live stream. So yeah, please make sure you hit you comment any opinions, you hit the like button, you're subscribing, and you're all here later, people. On that note, love and respect. Love all you lot. Make sure you keep in good health. First and foremost, we can do nothing without our health. Make sure you've all attacked this week and had a very good week. Make sure you don't cry like these pussy brothers about swearing and whatnot. It's not for kids. One love to the, everybody out there. But on that note, hit the like button, stay safe until we back up again, folks.
There's always just that active when defending. I think it's like